and boom goes the dynamite.
And welcome back to another edition of the only live lacrosse talk show that airs Monday through Friday. This is the Daily Dive. I'm your host, Michael Carvelis. Our top story today will be the Bandits sweeping the Toronto Rock. Our big guest segment, of course, will be PK from Buffalo Sports Collective to talk about those Bandits and what's next with possibility of next two teams in the finals. And our last brew by B-Res Coffee Company, code Daily Dive, will be Game 3 is on the way in Calgary. Well, who do I think has the edge and who do I think wins? We'll have to see about that. But first, let's get to our top story, presented by Daily Dive Store. Go to Daily Dive Lax on social media and click the link tree, and there you'll see the Our Store tab. Check it out. It's got all the merchandise with this logo on it, and we've got a bunch of new shirts, including two new shirts that were added, including Lacrosse O'Clock, and one of my personal favorites so far, only lacrosse fans. Trust me, if you know, you know. I also want to get to this because this morning we had some breaking news. Well, not from us, but like from the PLL that I wanted to get to. So let me get to that. It's regarding Lyle Thompson. It's the announcement from Lyle Thompson that just came down 2 hours ago. A statement from him says, after much thought and consideration, I've decided to take a break from the PLL for the 2023 season. I've decided the past 15 years of my life, I've dedicated the past 15 years of my life to playing lacrosse year-round. I am grateful that my love for the game has provided me the opportunity to play at the highest level and do so continuously. For me, the game should always be medicine, and it comes with instruction to be played with respect, a clear mind, and enjoyment. I want to follow those instructions, and sometimes that requires rest. So this summer, I will direct my energy to myself, my family, and my communities. I want to sincerely thank all of my fans, the lacrosse community, my amazing Kansas teammates, and the PLL for their understanding and support. I look forward to rejoining the Boom Squad for the 2024 season and picking up where I left off. This is crazy. Like I said, this came in 2 hours ago. I literally just saw it as the show was starting. And so you're going to get like a raw reaction from me right now. It's interesting because I know Lyle Thompson just played with the Georgia Swarm this season, and obviously the Swarm fell short. I've been on the mindset all year long that Lyle Thompson was not the greatest this year. I believe Andrew Q led him in points. Let me lie. They tied up because Andrew Q missed the final game of the season. In fact, he missed 2 games, and they tied up with 106 points. But Lyle Thompson also had 82 turnovers. And to me, that's a lot of turnovers. I know you can say, well, he got all these hacks and stuff. But listen to these turnover lists from his 2016 season on. 33, 62, 51, 32, 26, 45, 82. This man is 30 years old and was not playing like he was in his prime. You feel like there could have been more. Now, 106 points was his 4th season with 100 points. It felt like something was always missing from this team. And to me, it fell on the back of a rookie goaltender. And that, to me, was just not a Lyle Thompson lacrosse team. There to me was more that I wanted to see. And like he said, maybe there was something in his head. Maybe he wants to, feel some rest. And guys who are in the Indigenous community and who have that heritage take the game so much more seriously than someone like I do. So I think it's interesting that he's taking time away from the PLL. And I'm interested to see how many years he does have left, because it's kind of like a reminiscing moment. Because again, these guys, I don't think Lyle Thompson does, but a lot of these guys work the Monday through Friday jobs. It's not just lacrosse, although they're great professional athletes. There's more to it than that. So I think it's interesting. And I don't want to do a PLL versus NL thing because I don't think it's appropriate here. But I do believe Lyle Thompson, I don't want to say he wasn't fully committed this year, but it felt like something was off. So whatever that thing was, maybe he just does need rest. I understand it because, again, playing 2 leagues in 1 year and not getting paid to suffice for it is not the greatest feeling, I'm sure. So it probably becomes like an obligation, not medicine or enjoyment, as he says. So, hey, shout out Lyle Thompson. I hope he gets the time he needs. Again, in this sport, we should have this because we should respect it. Because, nothing, they don't get paid accordingly. It's not fair. So, yeah, take time away. Enjoy yourself, dude. And respect to Lyle Thompson. I've enjoyed the Swarm game. I went to one game of my life. It was this year the Swarm won. Thank you, Lyle, for that. Our top story is, of course, Bandits did sweep the Rock. And I'll get into this, of course, next segment way more. But people are going to, I know Rock fans are going to naturally want to blame the Tom Schreiber effect. Remember, we reported that he was not 100% for game 1? Because remember, he missed the quarterfinal, no problem. Game 1, the Rock page was like, oh, he's back. And we had the reports from this show before that game that he's not 100%. And then he goes like 2 goals and 17 shots. I've always told you guys, shots on goal is not cute when you're 2 for 17. It's just not a good stat for me. And so I believe that Schreiber getting rest was probably the best thing for him in game 2. Because, again, I don't think Bandits – I didn't think the Rock was going to turn around just like that. I thought it was going to be a sweep after I saw game 1. Obviously, you won a 3-game series. Didn't get that. But we've got somebody that can talk about that on the other side. Again, Lyle Thompson taking time away from the PLL became our top story. But, of course, we all know the Bandits are your Eastern Conference champions. So when we come back, we're going to talk to PK of the Buffalo Sports Collective, who knows the Bandits all too well. We'll be right back. Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere. Guest of the show, but affectionately known as PK, has joined us once again from the Buffalo Sports Collective. How was your weekend, sir? Pretty good, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, celebrated a birthday on Saturday with a win, so it was even better than that.
And Mother's Day, good Lord, you had a weekend, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a fun weekend.
Did you attend the game, on Friday's game?
Oh, yeah. Season ticket holder, so I was there in person. It did not feel – I thought there was going to be a lot more tickets sold, but having that Friday night game probably affected the ticket sales, but it felt a lot more – it felt like a sellout, even though it wasn't.
That's a fair point. 14-5 and 17-8 obviously makes you feel good. We know that Tom Schreiber did play game 1. As I mentioned before the break, I know you saw it. He wasn't 100% according to the reports that we had. Could you tell in that Friday game that Tom Schreiber – because you've seen this guy before. Could you tell he wasn't 100%?
You could tell there was something off just with the whole offense. And we kind of said going into it, we weren't sure if he was going to play. Our episode came out before even the reports were that he was questionable if he was going to play or not. So we even said going into it, what does the team look like? Because he's the center of their offense. They're going to have to adjust. And what's that look like without it? And you kind of saw more of it in the second game, in game 2, where, yes, they might have scored 8 more goals, but they were trying to play catch up pretty much the whole game. So when you take out the main piece of the offense, your offense is definitely going to struggle. Somebody else is going to have to step up. So him being not close to 100% whatsoever, I think going into the game, you kind of assumed he wasn't going to be after missing game 1 versus Halifax. But I don't think it really mattered because Matt Vince was just lights out. The defense was lights out. I have never seen, and I guess we can dive into the game. Matt Vince, he's been playing for 20 years. This might be his best 3-game stretch of his entire career. I've never seen a goaltender 52 saves. It was unbelievable.
I was going to ask you about Matt Vince because I know we've heard you and other Buffalo Bandits fans and analysts come on the show that have said they wanted the others to step up. So while Chris Kluche has been great, while Ian McKay has been nice, it is cool to see that Matt Vance at 40 years old has still got something left.
Yeah, I mean, he had an unbelievable season. I mean, goaltender of the year, reigning goaltender of the year, is 8-time goaltender of the year. What more accolades can you have? But him playing the way he did all season kept the Buffalo Bandits as the top team in the NLL. I fully believe that because of how hurt the offense was, guys in and out of the lineup so much. So the defense and Matt Vince had to step it up. I just didn't think there was another gear they had. And I don't know where they're pulling it from, but the defense and Matt Vince took what was already a high level of lacrosse and just doubled it. And it's unbelievable to see 23 goals allowed in 3 games so far. I mean, 7.67 goals average. They were averaging giving up 10.65 in the regular season. I don't know how they did it, but they took another leap forward and just playing unbelievable.
Now, I have mentioned this before because I was totally wrong about the first time this happened because after 14-5, I said, well, there's no way they do it again, right? And they dropped 3 more, so which is great. On the road, may I mind you. But I have to wonder, is it a little bit concerning considering the 2 teams on the other side are supposedly defensive juggernauts, or do you feel good because the Rock are supposedly that too?
I think you're finally seeing a healthy offense from the Buffalo Bandits. They didn't have that until that 3rd game versus Toronto, and that was the first game they've played together all season long. So they used, I know there was some talk, do you want to rest these players in the Albany game? You already have the number 1 seed wrapped up versus in the Eastern Conference. You still needed to win that one to get over top of San Diego. But we were more on this podcast, at least, about you want to see this offense jive more together. And they put up 16 versus Albany, and then it was 20 versus Rochester. This offense is just hitting their peak at the perfect time. The offense, I'm wondering what this offense could have looked like if they were healthy all year long. Like, is this what we would have seen? Probably not at this level, because this level is not sustainable, scoring 17 on average through 3 games. But this is the capabilities of when you're having your goaltender play top-notch, your defense playing top-notch, and your offense finally jiving and connecting on just unbelievable, ungodly numbers.
Good point. And they may have made history this year. You're right about that. They were healthy. Because I think Josh Byrne missed 3 games and DeHoga missed a ton. It was incredible. So I have to ask you about Calgary and Colorado. Obviously, the Bandits and fans and players are watching that very closely. We know you want Colorado, technically, but which of these teams, if you had a choice of like which team you think you can beat easier, would it be Calgary or Colorado?
That's very tough. We haven't really dove into both of them. I know we had a party at our house on Saturday watching the game, and we turned on the Colorado-Calgary game afterwards. And regardless of the outcome of that one and who ends up winning game 3, we just wanted to go 3 games, because in game 2 game 1 you had Ian McKay go down, and it was non-contact and it was terrifying, but he was out back the next game. Brad McCulley went out in game 2. Justin Robinson went out. Both of those 2 came back, but you had Bomberry, O'Connor, and Chase Frazier go out early. I'm hoping it was all just more, precautionary.
Right.
Who knows? So we wanted to go game 3 regardless, so they get an extra week of rest. For Calgary, Del Bianco's unbelievable. Their transition game is unbelievable. Colorado, they just have had Buffalo Bandits number the last 3 times they faced them. So both teams beat Buffalo last time they were in the finals. Calgary in 2019, Colorado last year. I think you're getting a revenge game no matter who wins. If I was being myself and picking who I would like to see more, and I think most of Banditland would like this, Colorado. But both of them are going to be tough outs regardless. I mean, they are playing top-notch, best of the season so far.
So I have to ask you, on a scale of like 1 to 10, I know Bandits fans probably I know Bills and Bandits fans feel great every year. They're in the postseason, but like scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most confident. Tell me right now, do you feel a 10 in terms of like how like the Bandits can win the finals, can win it all?
I think Phil said it on our episode that aired today. If it's not this year, is it ever going to happen? Like, they haven't won since 2008. It's been that long of a drought, back-to-back finals. You came up short. They have, with the way they're playing right now, they should win it. I mean, you're getting Matt Vince playing at the top of his level. You got Steve Perillo who's staying out of the box and leading that defense. You got Ian McKay in the transition game and playing forward as well. The back end, Bryce Sweeting, who is not getting mentioned enough. He had like 3 block shots in the penalty kill in one possession. And it was unbelievable. The offense is jiving. Chris Cloutier is playing top-notch level as well. He's tied with the lead in goals this playoff as well as Josh Byrne. If they don't win it this year, I don't know what to do. We had a loss of words. We were a loss of words versus Colorado last year, but they have all the makings to do it. As long as they're truly healthy going into game 1 of the finals, which hopefully they will be. I don't see any reason this team isn't the team to get them over that hump.
Good point. You guys on our Daily Guide Bracket Challenge, you guys' account did say Chris Cloutier would score the most goals in game 1, which is insane. Like if in the finals. And I want to let you know on air that of the points right now, you guys have the most possible points remaining, which means you guys might be able to split a Fanatics gift card, or I might have to give you guys both one, which is really insane.
Well, you just won't tell Phil. I'll just claim it for myself. But yeah, that's a nice little pat on the back. I mean, it's all a wild card. You have no idea. It's part of sports gambling. You don't know. But it just felt like Chris Cloutier was due to have this kind of stretch. He was so quiet down the stretch, finally getting healthy. That Albany game, I think he had 4 in that one. He's got 11 total right now. It just felt like the time was coming to do that. And I'll give a little shout out to Brad McCulley, who doesn't get the numbers on the stat sheet, but a lot of those goals from Josh Byrne, the 5 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and then Kluch, the 2, and then the 6. Brad McCulley does not give the credit he deserves for setting those lanes, setting those hard picks. He takes an absolute beating for the lefties, but he like I said, he doesn't get the credit he deserves. And I, for one, will give him the credit he deserves for setting up those goals. I mean, he won't get the assist for it. I think he's got 1 goal, 2 assists in this one, but he does so much more than the stat sheets that show.
And I'm pretty sure, I believe it was Justin Martin who the Bandits team gave some defensive award to or whatever.
Yeah,
he took a beating in game 2.
He is that shot from Challen Rogers that he took to the face.
Oh yeah,
was the game changer because I think I got the number right here. They went on to score 7 in a minute 3:49, I think it was. And Challen Rogers was in the box for all of them. They scored on those 2, the power play that they were able to, but he stays in the box. And you rattle off 7 straight. That was the game right there. I mean, it stinks because Challen Rogers is a very talented player. He's the captain of the team for a reason. When you're missing that kind of player, it's going to show on the field. So credit to Justin Martin taking that hit, go just living with it. And, it was unbelievable. That stretch put the Rock, it took the air out of the building and the air out of the Rock.
I think Bandits should have a championship parade, regardless of what sport it is. You guys are hungry.
It's been a long time.
So I have a question about Buffalo Sports Collective as we send you off here. I know you've got an episode today. Tell us about that and also what's to come on Buffalo Sports Collective.
Well, since we got to buy, our next episode will air on Friday, but we'll be breaking down that Colorado-Calgary game because everybody's going to be tuned into that one on Saturday. Kind of give a sneak peek of what the finals might look like if it's Colorado or if it's Calgary. Past history of both teams. There's bad blood between both of them. Buffalo wants revenge, and they are so locked in right now. You could kind of see Toronto trying to get under Buffalo's skin, both of those games. Yep. And no one is biting. They just are such a laser focused team. 1 goal, 1 mentality. They just want to win it. They don't care how they're doing it. Win, move on to the next game. There's something in them that you can't shake what's going on in their heads right now. They're just such a laser focused team.
Sometimes it is up here, especially in the game of medicine. PK, I appreciate you and your host, Phil, always joining the show. It's been great all year. There's still more to come. Best of luck this week, guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us on. Anytime you need us, we're running through the off season as well.
You're right about that. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate
PK from Buffalo Sports Collective. Those guys are awesome. I highly recommend that podcast. They talk Bills. They talk Sabres. They talk another sport as well. I believe it's a women's game, but yeah, they talk all kind of stuff, all things Buffalo. I know you guys, you fans of Buffalo, would love that stuff as well. PK and Phil, thanks to PK for joining us for today's show. When I come back, I'll react more to Bandits and Rock, and of course, Game 3, Calgary, Colorado, should be fun. We'll be right back. cup of Joe or cup of Mike, who knows? Go to B-Riz Coffee Company, that's brizcoffeeco.com, and check out the awesome flavors of coffee for gamers, by gamers, and of course, lacrosse and Dilly Dive fans. Use the code Dilly Dive at checkout when you buy anything on that website, and it helps us out tremendously. And of course, you get great coffee, so what's not to love? Our last brew is Game 3 is incoming. I want to get back to that Bandits and Rock game real quick. So the Buffalo Bandits, to me, again, I don't think Tom Schreiber mattered too much, considering how, like PK said, locked in the Buffalo Bandits are right now. Matt Vince is turning back
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Of course you didn't. Shut up, Siri. Shut up, Siri. That's so annoying. That never happens. Never happens. But Matt Vince is playing really well right now. What did I say it sound like that? That's what I want to know. What did I say it sound like, hey, you know what? I was wondering. They might have renamed it Matt Vince. I don't know. But no, Matt Vince is playing out of his mind. He's turning back the clock. And, of course, Dane Smith has been great. But to me, Josh Byrne and Chris Kluche have been so awesome on offense. I got to wonder if Dane Smith is going to start closing out these championship games. But my goodness. And, of course, as for the Rock, I didn't like the dirty stuff getting under the skin. I know that, some teams kind of, I guess, have to do that. But you're down Tom Schreiber and you're kind of panicked. That's the impression that I got from Toronto. I know they'll say otherwise if they come on the show. I feel like if you're trying to play the penalty minutes game, you kind of already admitted, like, you got your foot halfway out the door of defeat. Like, why do that? You've got home, especially when you have home field advantage the next day, and you'd rather, throw people to the ground than, actually play. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't care how good your opponent is. Just play the right way, and who knows what happens. But I was very dumbfounded by what Coach Sawyer and The Rock did there, and it worked out in favor of the Bandits. Calgary and Colorado. Hey, congrats to Christian Del Bianco. Just want to let you know. CDB decided to at me on Twitter and say, what? He said, who hurt you, man? And to Christian Del Bianco, I'll say this. Here's my response to that. I understand that you guys are used to this whole, pat on the back, everybody's great in lacrosse kind of media. Dilly Dive is simply not going to be that kind of show. So when I go on Twitter and spread stats that might be a little bit controversial, like 19 assists but 17 turnovers by the MVP of the league and Christian Del Bianco, I just would like to put into perspective what people are really seeing. Because you can outlet the ball a million times if you're a goalie. But it's my duty to keep it, balanced here. You can be great all you want to. I never said he's not great. But to me, if you're getting overhyped, I'm quick to call it out. I will not pat you on the back. I will give you your props, but I will not pat you on the back and try to be your best friend. That's not what this business is about. If you want to grow the game, this is what we have to do. We've got to be critical, and because it creates more banter and it creates more fun. That way you can prove this guy wrong. You can do it. Just feels better. Like NBA and NFL fans love talking on Twitter. They love talking at the barbershop. You can't talk lacrosse at the barbershop because everybody's your best friend. Dilly Dive's not your best friend. We're here to get the information, enjoy the game, and enjoy the sport as entertainment because that's what it is. It's okay to admit that. No one hurt me. I want this thing to grow. And I personally do not think Christian Del Bianco is the MVP. Does that mean he's not deserving? No. I think if he wins it, fine. But I'll have my thoughts. I gave Dane Smith our MVP award on Dilly Dive. That means nothing in season 1, but you just wait till season 12 runs around and we're the cream of the crop. Oh my. I hope it doesn't take 12 years. Just saying. And as for Colorado and Calgary in general, like PK said, Calgary's fast break has been incredible. But Dylan Ward has been up to the task of that. I feel like Colorado's offense has been taking stupid shots. And that might be because of the perimeter defense and the checking of the Calgary players. But to me, I feel like Colorado has played better, but their offense has just been kind of stupid at times. Like, they can rally, and you really feel like they're better than the Roughnecks. I know it seems taboo to say, especially in the regular season, but it just appears that they're taking dumb shots. And I kind of feel like the Mammoth are going to get them in Game 3. Haven't made my official prediction yet, but I feel like the Mammoth can get them. I did pick the Roughnecks before the playoffs started for my bracket challenge, and I'm currently got 6 points, and I have the second most points possible behind the Buffalo Sports Collective. But I feel like Colorado can get them, but again, I haven't made my pick, and we'll have to see how I feel coming to Friday. But Game 3 is awesome. Who doesn't love a Game 3? And for those that want more games, this sport's too physical for that. I mean, 3 games is good enough for me. If you can't beat a team, if you get split the first 2 games, you probably don't deserve to be there. I do like what Cooper Perkins said last week on the show about a play-in game. Maybe that should be the single elimination, because I know Seals faithful are not happy about the outcome of the quarterfinals game. But hey, it is what it is. It's here to stay. And I'm excited for this Game 3, but we don't know we can talk about it, so don't go anywhere. But right now, you can go eat yourself some lunch, because that's what I'm probably going to do soon as well. Thanks for tuning in to Daily Dive Lax here on Monday, May the 15th, 2023. Season 1 is wrapping up very quickly. Time flies when you're having fun. But we're not done yet, like I said. For all the great people that watch the show, for great guests like PK and Phil of Buffalo Sports Collective, and of course, everyone behind the scenes of Daily Dive, I am Michael Carvalho saying have a great rest of your day. See you back here tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye.